Martin Luther King was a great teacher, and Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream of having a colorless society.
He wanted his children to be judged by the content of their character
and not by the color of their skin.
People are judged by the content
of their character
and not the color of their skin.
He didn't want people judged on the color of their skin, but on the content of their character.
Content of their character, not by the color of their skin.
We must judge one another by the content of our character and not the color of our skin.
We knew what MLK Day would look like. Politicians and pundits whitewashing his legacy, watering down his radicalism, and misappropriating his dream. But among the bad takes, there were bright spots. People correcting the misinformation.
About in school.
Martin Luther King Jr.
Martin Luther King Jr. What'd he do?
He died for our sins.
No, that was...
She's not wrong. Martin Luther King Jr. was murdered due to America's original sin, which is racism that led to chattel slavery and Jim Crow, and for there to even need to be a civil rights movement in the first place. And the idea that systemic racism was limited to just those two things I named and the civil rights movement solving everything. Wow. With that said, it's cool to see children siding with abolitionists and emancipators instead of enslavers and lynchers, proving that white kids don't need to feel guilty when parents, caregivers, teachers, and adults in their lives are teaching the true, hard history of America. And let me be clear, there were black people who didn't like MLK either. So we should be educating ourselves too. And this shouldn't be relegated to just a day or a month. I mean, I learned something new yesterday. Tyler, the producer, showed me that, evidently, pundits using MLK for cheap political points happens all year round.
So in order to allow it, you have to erase Christianity. And they've been working on it for a long time. Ever notice how they call Martin Luther King doctor but not reverend? King was not a physician, he was a Christian preacher. They'd like you to forget that.
That was from May of 2022, and leftists can be Christians. Is this how Tucker interprets the way we view the separation of church and state? Man, the title of doctor is used and applied by those who earn doctorate degrees, not just medical doctors. Plus, we know that a third of the times that we quote Dr. Martin Luther King, it was something he said during a sermon or addressing the church or other reverends, pastors, or ministers. But you know what? Maybe we should refer to him as Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in order to better represent the fullness of his identity. I mean, I probably focused too much on what he said to and about white people, and he was more than that. However, I'll end with this. To those of you who only recognize the quote, not judged by the color of their skin part of one of his speeches, just know that we are judging you by the content of your character. For Rebel HQ, I'm Jeff Wiggins. My architect knows Japanese. For more from the Young Turks, stay right here. To see additional content from yours truly, click on the Jeff Wiggins hashtag. You can also find me on my YouTube channel, We Gonna Be Alright. Thanks for watching.